Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to ChiefsBlitz.com YouTube podcast with your hosts, Nick Athen, Andre Tillman, and producer Hense Todd. They'll break down the three-time Super Bowl champions as only they can do. Here's your host, Nick Athen.
What's up, gang, and welcome back to Chiefs Blitz on YouTube. Lou Montagna, and reprising the role of Nick Athen today. So bear with us. I'm not Nick. But joining us are Coach Andre there. Andre's here. We've got a producer, Hense Todd, ready to rock and roll. What you got, boys? Right off the top. First thought. Let's do it. Andre, what do you got?
What you got, Dre? Go ahead.
70 points is unexcusable. 70 points is it's not. You can't even argue 70 points.
Mm-hmm.
You can't argue because as a defensive coordinator, as an NFL defensive coordinator, you give up 70 points. 70 points. Nah. Something got to give in Denver. Something has to give in Denver.
Well, if after a game you go in and you say, well, we scored 50 points and we still got our asses kicked, that's pretty bad. I mean, that's pretty awful. And just watching the game, I get it. The coach, Mike McDaniel, revolutionizing the way we're playing offense. And, he was the run game genius in San Francisco. He's been with Shanahan for so many years and creating all these angles. And now he's like, no one's ever watched Andy Reid's, in his motion. Okay, fine, whatever. He's the young guy. Next best thing. He's got this running game going. But the bottom line is, if you watch any of the game, the Broncos, I don't know if it was the heat. I don't know if it was just the way the game started. But you never want to say a team quit. But my God, I mean, it looked like a scrimmage. And the defense was playing what the coaches told them to give the offense a bunch of looks. And the Dolphins were just running through it like they were doing a Friday or Saturday walkthrough and no resistance. So God bless them. They scored all those points. It looked amazing. Tua looks like they really found something here. He's got to be the next guy with a big deal now, right? Doesn't he? Don't they have to pay him now?
He do. Well deserved.
So
well deserved.
Again, was it more Miami and that 4x1 track team they throw out at you, or was it Denver just mailing it in at best?
I think it was the Miami Dolphins head coach. He used to be a ball boy for the Denver Broncos, and he wanted to show that he should have been the coach. They chose him over Sean Payton. They chose Sean Payton over him.
No, they chose Hackett. I don't think he ever even got interviewed.
Yeah, he never got interviewed. I mean, Hackett. I meant to say
ended up hiring Hackett. So
right. So and he was the ball boy for them for like way back then. But coming back to Denver Broncos, just being a ball boy and coming out there ball out. I mean, man, gosh, he had his team running. He had his team ready to go. He had his team lit and with fire up in them. But again, the AFC West, we thought all these other teams was going to be competition. The Raiders, the Chargers, the Broncos with the new head coach. But looking at it now, looking in the crystal ball and looking into the future, it doesn't look that bright. It doesn't look that bright for the Raiders. It doesn't look that bright for the Chargers. And it doesn't look that bright for the Broncos. The Raiders, they don't know what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? They don't know. Avante Adams don't want to be there no more. He's saying in the locker room that we got to start winning because I don't have time to be sitting wasting time trying to figure it out at the end. And he's right. But again, and with the Chargers, you don't know what they're gonna do on with the coaching. They always go for on fourth and down. If it wasn't for the Vikings thinking it up at the end, the Chargers will be 0-3.
Well, both
Right.
those teams tried to give that game away, and it was such.
Right.
And going into that game, you're looking. Of course, both these teams are 0-3, just
Mhm.
because of their history, everything that they stand for. But you thought with O'Connell, they might be, coming around a little bit. They won all those games last year. A lot of them were
Mhm.
close. One score games was just a historic number that they put up. They won them all, I think. But I mean, I don't know. Brandon Staley, you can look at analytics and it says, okay, 4th and 1 here. Okay, you get it. It's 82% chance you're going to win the game. Well, we're up by 4. We
Mhm.
haven't run the ball all day. We're on our in our own end at the minus 24. They need a touchdown to win. They got no timeouts left. What are you
Right.
doing? Punt the ball and make him go the length of the field. So he like really tries to screw the game up, but the Vikings, of course, they come out and like, hold my beer. No, no, no. We can screw this up worse than you. And on that last play with no timeouts, they hit the first down. And then it was like everybody forgot how to play football.
Right.
Immediately they go out over this stuff Friday, Saturday at practice, situational football. Everybody run up to
Mhm.
the line. We're gonna clock it, and we'll take a breath, call a play, and let's see if we can win this thing. And then he's got Cousins has got his hands over his ears. I can't hear, and then they
Mhm.
rush it, and it wasn't a horrible play, but just the way it seemed like it was rushed. And of course, the ball gets intercepted, and it's like, okay, Brandon Staley, you're welcome because I'm pretty sure he would have got fired on the plane if they would have lost that game
Right.
because that was I don't know. I don't know what to say. I've always stuck up for the guy. Give him a chance. He's a little risk taker. Okay, I got you. But seriously, after that, I got to believe if the Vikings score that touchdown, even the Spanos would have eaten the salary and said, okay, we're firing this guy.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And that's the same thing I feel about the Josh McDaniels. You know what I mean? He was down there. They needed 8 points to tie the game. It's 4th and 12. I mean 4th and 3 on the 12-yard line. And he chose to kick a field goal. He chose to kick a field goal. And I'm like, is this Vegas? If somebody got a bet on the line? Is somebody trying to cover the spread? I don't know because
It
in
didn't
the
for the
day,
spread either. I mean, that was
oh
just
no, I'm like looking at it. I'm like, okay, 4th and 3, you on the 12-yard line. Anybody a kid playing Madden would know that. Hey, I have 8 points. If I don't get it here and you on the 12-yard line, at least I have you at the 12-yard line. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
To make you punt the ball again and make me go back, trying to get the ball back and come back down the field and score my 8 points. But at least I'm going to try here, but not kick a field goal and give it back to your defense. I mean, give it back to your offense that wasn't playing well.
Mhm.
you
Wasn't
still
playing
did
well.
you
So
still you still needed a touchdown. I
right,
mean, I see what he said. Okay, hey, if we score a touchdown, then we win. But the odds of them getting the ball back, I don't know how great they were. But the bottom line is, you're down in scoring position. You've got Devontae Adams. I mean, they showed it on before they were able to hit a 4th down play. You just got to go. I mean, seriously. And again, it just speaks to. And I came into this thinking this segment was looking at coaching decisions over the course of the week, and it turns into an AFC West thing again. So just one more point to what you were saying earlier, hence was the AFC West. I mean, is as talented as it is,
hmm
these other 3 teams just can't seem to get out of their own way. They can't
Yeah.
just figure it out.
right. They can't figure it out. They
It's
can't
just
figure.
crazy to say that because the AFC West been the laughing stock of the league for years, for the last couple of years, because you know Oakland hasn't been right I want to say Derek Carr, but Oakland hasn't really been relevant since Rich Gannon, and that says a whole lot, But at the same time, you see Oakland, well, Las Vegas, um, you see the aura with that team and what the team was built on. Now it's like they're the laughing stock now. Like nobody takes Oakland serious. With the bad management, what I want to say, Derek Carr gone, right? Khalil Mack gone, right? It's like you get rid of Mack, you know, for what? For what? It just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Now you get rid of Derek Carr and you mess up the chemistry between him and Devontae Adams. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, now what are we doing?
Yeah,
It's like,
a lot of confusing moves.
yeah, it's like, okay, where is again, guys, it's the management. It's the management. I don't know because they confused. They don't know what they want to do with Oakland right now. With Las Vegas right now. So that's that. And you look at Denver. Denver since Russell Wilson came and how bad he's been playing and how the offense, how the coach was just so horrendous, was so horrible. The play calling, the offensive line. Um, it was so bad last year, right? So what they do, they get Sean Payton. You think Sean Payton is the savior of this team, or of this organization? That's not the case. They gave up 70 points. Now I know Daniels is a great offensive mind head coach, right? Great offensive mind, but that doesn't how good he is still doesn't make sense that this defense gave up 70 points.
No, because coming into the year, that was the strength of their team,
The
right? I mean,
defense,
you
right?
look
Because that was
at
top
all the
10.
different at each level, they've got some dogs. I mean, they've got some really, really good players.
Absolutely.
So again, it's still a head scratcher how that happened. It just I, this I get again. It's just they talk about changing the culture and all this stuff. I There's something going on internally there. I don't know that we'll ever be able to put our fingers on it, but
No.
something just
I know.
wasn't right about that
I know.
team. It really seemed
I
like
know what it is.
they really quit.
I know what it is. They got bought by Walmart. They right now they great value. They great value right now.
Mm.
They that's what it is. They're a great value Broncos. They not the Denver Broncos no more. They Walmart brand. If I'm glad, but one thing I can say about all this is it's nothing like having been a Chiefs fan right about now. All the rest of the division is sucking, struggling to figure out where we won and figured it out at is as a head coach. I mean GM, head coach, quarterback, and we figured it out in them three steps. And plus the owner Clark Hunt, the Hunt family, within themselves, is having kept the Chiefs irrelevant. And thank God that we got Andy Reid. We got him when he was on his way out of Philly, caught him in the airport, interviewed him, got the job. So the thing is that if we are blessed, we've been in them stages of the Broncos. I never remember the Chiefs getting 70 points put up on them, but we've been in the shoes of where we would have losing seasons. The Raiders, the Raiders head coaches can't figure it out. Like the Chargers, head coaches still can't figure it out. We've been in those shoes, but now we got the head coach that's fourth on the list and winning, and Patrick Mahomes, the generation talent, have been blessed to be a Kansas City Chiefs. So the thing is this:
Yeah.
looking at the AFC West and watching the breakdown and all the other teams and the bad play calling, and looking at Andy Reid, you can't be nothing but happy as a Chiefs fan to look back and say, man, I remember them baghead days. Everybody's wearing bags over their head at Arrowhead Stadium and flying banners around the stadium talking about Fire Scott Pioli and Todd Haley and Romeo Cannell. All that stuff. See, some fan bases have to go through that, but I'm glad I'm on the other end.
Well,
What you got?
the seven straight division titles, I think, speaks to that. I don't know that it's going to change anytime soon. So I think maybe we can put the AFC West to bed right now.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they're going to have difficult. The Chiefs will have difficult games with the Chargers. Will have difficult games with the Broncos here and there, and the Raiders. It's a rivalry, of course. You know they're going to have. But at the end of the day, they're always going to win a heck of a lot more of those games than they lose, and they barely lose any of them now. So.
Mm.
I don't know. I think we could probably move on from that. Uh, I did want to ask you a question. This may be off the path a little bit, but the other team that was in the Super Bowl last year, the game Monday night, the Eagles beat the Bucks, and the question keeps coming up, and they really highlighted it. Is the Eagles on their short yardage plays and what I guess they refer to as the tush push. Uh, some people were looking to try to change the name of the play, but what do you guys feel about it? I mean, Andre, you coach little kids. I mean, is that something you embrace? That where they just gang up on the line of scrimmage. We're bigger and stronger than you. We're gonna get. I mean, I don't know that it's been stopped.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think because I feel like that's a form of injury. Like that's an injury prone formation
The tush
because you
push.
just dog piling on the opposition. You're dog piling. It's like it's not fair because on the other side of that ball, you got to push and fall and like you got to stack players on players just to get a couple inches. But it's not a safe formation, you know. But looking at it from football, like from a winning perspective though, to get that 1 yard, I mean, I get it. I absolutely get it. But it's like, that's one of the plays that really can't be stopped.
Mhm.
Why aren't other
Because
teams doing it? Why do you think? Why are no other teams doing it?
because it's
Is
dangerous. I think it's dangerous to the
Mhm.
players. Because if you look at Chris Jones, when Chris Jones tried to stop it, he was getting like you had to go low, right? So you had to go real low, and right, you putting your spinal and your neck in bad places to do that,
Mhm. Right.
right? And you putting so much pressure on your body to where it becomes unsafe. Because remember, these are 200, 300 some pound guys fall on top of you, right?
Mhm.
So the angles to penetrate that formation is dangerous because you put your upper body at risk.
Right. That's 100% true. I believe it's. I don't think other teams are doing it because the high risk award that you can receive from that. It's you can receive. I know the games are won in inches. You know what I mean? Between the 1 inches, but again, that 1 inch can cause you a season end an injury to your one of your star
Absolutely.
players, one of your
Absolutely.
key players. So I think yeah, if it works, go for it. If it and then you start seeing more injuries behind it, then yeah, I think the Eagles will stop doing it.
I think it's worked pretty much every time. I guess it
Mhm.
comes down to like the competition committee, and I think they talked about it in the offseason. They decided to table it. The league is all about health and safety, and if Andre, you're saying is in terms of the injury factor, they would again they probably have to see some sort of analytics, some sort of numbers that kind of bears that out, right? I
Right.
mean, and I agree with you because when the defense, the only chance that they just jam everybody near the ball, guys on guys, you got two like almost 2,000 pounds coming up against 2,000 other pounds, but since I guess there's no running start, may, I don't know. I guess I like trying to think about this in my head. Like what how could they possibly stop this? And the only thing and I didn't really come up with it. I did steal this. Some people posted it on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. The way they'll get rid of that play is if the Chiefs start running it. If the Chiefs start running that play and
Mm,
it's successful, then the league will
mm.
say, nope, we can't have this. Forget
Wow,
it.
good point.
Health and safety, not a chance. But the Chiefs will never do it because I don't think, as long as Andy Reid is the coach, you're not going to see Patrick Mahomes doing a quarterback sneak. Unless
But
Patrick
you know
just
what?
says, the hell with it, I'm doing it. Just snap me the ball,
That's
I'm
right.
going.
That's right. You know what? The only way you stop that is keep him from doing it. The only way to stop that formation
Right.
is keep
Absolutely.
him
You got
from
it.
4th and 1. Remember that game? Everybody was like, "Yo, we have to stop them right here because if not, they're going to get that 4th and 1. They're going to get that 4th and 1. So, in order to stop that formation, you have to keep them out in 4th and inches. You have to stop the Eagles from being in 4th and inches. That's the only way you can honestly combat that play. Because if not, the Eagles will run that play every time. So you keep them from 4th and inches, you'll stop it.
I mean, you keep them from 3rd and inches because you keep them 3rd and inches, then that's they're
Well,
like,
they're
oh,
gonna
we're
run it
number
Third
one.
inch,
anything
third
that
inches, 4th inches. You stop them on them inches.
right.
I
For
put it like
real.
this. As speaking of the Chiefs running plays, man, I looked at the Swift situation. I'm like, I mean, not Swift by Swift, but Taylor situation, the offside starting
Right,
cross,
right, right.
all this. I went back to watch the game tape, and I'm like, this guy is beasting. It's like when the Chiefs find a jam, they find a tool to try to stop it, right? They find a tool to stop the Chiefs from running to certain plays. Did you think that when the offense was clicking, Taylor was out there, the offense is going up and down the field, up and down the field. Oh man, we gotta find. Look, he's not playing well. He's offside. If you go back and look at the Eagles' offensive line, they doing the same thing.
Johnson, Lane Johnson.
They all the way back there
Just
around the league, not just the Eagles.
Yeah,
around
just
the
about
whole
just
league.
about every team you've got, especially the tackles. If they're going against a dominating rush end, they're going to try to get every advantage they can. And yeah, I mean
Yeah, yeah, they
I
are.
think there was pictures posted where the entire line are lined up way behind the center. So
Right.
and Reed said it, and I can't believe he did, or because typically they say, well, I don't want to get fined by the league or whatever. But he came out and said specifically, they're picking on him now. They've kind of
Mhm.
isolated him.
Right.
And on the play that he did get called and the touchdown to MVS, I think Donovan Smith was lined up further back than he was.
Right.
And they called it on 74. So I don't know. Eventually, hopefully this washes out. But I think we're
I'm-
contractually obligated to talk about Chiefs receivers now.
yeah.
I think our boss might have something something to say about
Well,
this. He's not here. He's not here, so I'm going to have to take up for him.
but
Tell
again,
us everything you can about Justin Watson, Dre. Come on.
So Justin Watson, man, Justin Watson is leading the receivers. They said, all the receivers that they said that Chiefs should go after. He got more yards than them. What y'all think about it, Coach Drake?
Justin, that's my guy. That is like the hidden jewel. To me, he's the guy that we don't praise a lot. He's the guy that he can go out there and get it done. Since he joined the team, he's been phenomenal since he joined the team, right? Been clutch. He's been quiet. He's been quiet. But again, I can't say yay or nay with him.
Right.
I really can't. To me, I feel like he's the guy that honestly you can count on. Through all the Justin Rosses and all the Rasheed Rice and Scott Moores and Kadarius Toney, Watson being consistent. Now I can definitely say that about Watson. Watson being consistent. Watson just goes out there and just gets it done. Put him on the go route, he's going to catch it. Put him on the slant, he's going to get it. Anywhere on this field, he's going to get it done.
Right.
Well, you're
So
the
he's like
target.
the
You're
unsung
the
hero.
You're the targets guy. How many targets does he get? If he gets 5 targets in a game, that's like huge. He rarely gets targeted more than like 2 or 3 times. So it's an opportunity thing too, because there's so many receivers now. And I think there was a tweet out there about something where they were, the Chiefs were shortening the rotation a little bit to give guys more opportunities. And I think as they kind of hone this in, it's going to look a lot better. And I've
If you look
probably
at
said
his
this before, and I'm going to
Right.
stand on it. But in terms of Justin Watson, Mahomes trusts him. You saw on that play that he made where he ran his route from the numbers on the left side of the field, ended up on the sideline on the right. And Patrick just dropped a dime on the sideline, and Watson caught the ball. And the more he sees that, the more he's going to trust them. And he just has a thing with Watson. And I like the kid. I mean, he does everything the right way. He blocks, he hustles. You can't really fault him for anything, but he does, in limited opportunities, he does produce.
He
Right.
does. Like if you look at his overall target and reception ratio, he's in the 50%. Like you can count on him. He only probably dropped the last couple of games, probably dropped maybe one or two passes. But he's been very consistent with it. He's been very consistent. Like we don't we don't talk a lot about Watson because he's consistent. I target guys that the hype is going around. I target guys like that, like all this hype and Kadarius Toney was horrible, one for negative yards. Sky Moore, the first game of Sky Moore, he bounced back and played very well. Rashid Rice has had a couple moments, but he bounced back and got better. But the only guy honestly been consistent is Watson. Watson goes out there and get it done. So that's probably one of my favorite players on the Kansas City Chiefs is Watson. But you know, other than that, I just
I'll
feel
say this. I say Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice is coming around, man. As you look at the numbers, Rasheed Rice is coming around. He's just a rookie. He's getting the numbers. He's getting the targets back up. And they trusted and looking at more of a he. If Rasheed Rice, he was short 2 inches, maybe none, maybe 2 inches, maybe 1 inches
Yeah.
for having 2 touchdowns in the game from last week. So I say Rasheed Rice is coming around. Um, he's picking up more of a steam, picking up more of the playbook. I think this guy is going to be legit. We'll see what he do against the Jets.
hold on
Uh,
real
he
quick.
says
Let me,
he's
let me
more
give
in
you
the real world.
absolutely. Let me give you a quick stat about Rasheed Rice. Let me tell you how much Andy Reid trusts rookies. Right, Travis Kelsey, right, leading the league, right, in receptions, right, 11 receptions, right. Guess who behind him? Rasheed Rice with 10 receptions,
Right. So that's what I'm
right.
saying.
Like
That's what I'm saying.
Justin
Like
Ross
he's
got
coming.
7, Scott Moore has 7, and Kadarius Toney has 7. So Rasheed Rice is getting more targets. He getting more receptions, from Patrick Mahomes than any other receiver. Right. So
Right.
to me, that speaks volumes about Rasheed Rice.
So
You
what
know,
you got to say
so
about what you got to say about it, Lou?
Well, I think you hit it. I mean, he got really unlucky on a couple of plays there where he, kind of stumbled near the goal line and looked like one of them could have been a touchdown. The other one
mhm,
certainly could have been a touchdown too, but one was a little bit closer than the other. But yeah, I mean, and it seems, I mean, there's certainly a trend in the league where years ago it was very difficult for receivers to come in and make an immediate impact.
mhm,
Now, over the
mhm,
last maybe 10 years, and even more so going back 5 years, you got the best receivers in the league, like two or three of the best receivers in the league, like right out the gate with Jefferson and Chase and there's probably many others, but I guess my point is that the rookie receivers are coming in a lot more prepared, a
mhm,
lot more time on task, whether it be in high school camps, high school in general, and the college offenses are throwing the ball a lot more.
mhm,
The pro offenses are mirroring a lot of what the college offenses do to make it a little bit easier for the quarterbacks and the receivers to get going. So again, I think he has all the ability in the world. He can, I, you got Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, and Jigba. Some of the guys that went in the first round. I think in this offense, if he continues to progress, he could certainly make a case for being right at the top of that list.
And
mhm.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Uh, and speaking of the wide receiver group, I think they coming together. Sky Moore's looking pretty awesome. He looking way a little better than he was when he for the beginning of the season. But we will see because I think that
Beginning
everybody,
of the season, we're just 3 games in. We're,
yeah,
we're still kind
yeah.
of at the beginning.
I know we
So
still didn't get it. I know.
yeah,
I'm just like looking at it now. I know a lot of people gonna say uh, the Jets is not that good, but I believe the Jets is going to give up a little fight. So because they're gonna want to go deep down in the tunnel. So I'm gonna really measure the receivers off this game coming up. Uh,
be
with Sauce
interesting to see if
Gardner
if if
and everybody
McCole
else.
if McCole finally gets on the field for the Jets. Um, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of love between he and the rest of the players on the Chiefs, and I'm sure he's probably wished, hell, I could have been one of those 7 guys, but wasn't to be. But it should be interesting to see if they finally at least try to get him on the field. He hasn't really had that many reps.
Right, you haven't. That's what he should have stayed here. Can't chase the bag, and you could have been on the field here. We could have used you. But again, when he was here, he wasn't. He wasn't always that healthy.
Not the most consistent guy, right?
What the
most consistent.
But I'm liking Rashid Rice again. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the kid. I like how he catch the ball and turns up the field and go. Like plant the foot and go. Don't try to do too much. Turn around and go. Just like T.O. T.O. didn't try to do too much. He planted the foot and he was gone. He's gone. He trying to get the ball to T.O. I'm not saying that the kid is T.O. I'm just saying he could be. Just saying. Well, with that said, man, we want to thank everybody for watching. It was a great show. Tune in Friday.
Chief who?
Oh, I was waiting on. I'm waiting on the who. I'm waiting on the who,
guys. Come on. Okay.
How do you not?
Okay. First, time out. First off, the announcer at the top doesn't have my name. Okay, fine. Second of all, I'm the other old white guy here, so they call me Nick by accident. Okay, all right. I introduce a new segment. Let's just blow right through it. The show's over. All right, you got your graphics, Todd. You got your graphics ready?
I don't have that graphic.
You got the music?
I got the music. Go ahead.
You got the music. All right. So we're gonna try to introduce a new segment. It's gonna be called. We think it's gonna be called Chief Who. We'll see how this goes. Feel free to comment. We'd love to hear your feedback, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. But what we're gonna do is once a week, and we're gonna try to do it on Wednesdays, where I will give clues about the background of a particular Chiefs player. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to wait till the end. If any of these guys know who I'm describing at any time as I'm listing clues, go ahead and shout it out. And we'll see how well we know our Kansas City Chiefs. All right? I got to go to the glasses now.
Let's go.
All right. He is a defensive player. All right. In 2018, he was the Gatorade High School Player of the Year in his state. He has 7 brothers and 8 sisters. I'm not making that up. Feel free to jump in anytime, guys. It's a game.
All right.
Yeah. 3 songs.
What? No, this is a current Chief, okay?
Current Chief.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Both I lost that battle.
One of his brothers played with him in college.
7 brothers. I know who it is. I know who it is. I can't get this tip of my tongue.
He was a day 2 pick in 2022.
Leo Chanel.
We have a winner. We have a winner. Chief Who? It's you, Leo Chanel. Number 54, Wisconsin Badgers. Yes, one of his older brothers is a fullback there. It's kind of a family thing up there. They did it with the Watts, the Chanels, the Herbigs, 2 guys playing for the Steelers now. So family affair in Wisconsin. The jump around, right, in the third quarter, whenever they do it. But yeah, I mean, the most amazing thing I read was that he's got 7 brothers and 8 sisters. I mean, come on.
7 brothers and 8 sisters.
You kidding me?
That's a fit by stuff, ain't it?
I think it was a melded family. Maybe it was 2 different. But anyway, there's 16 of them, and one of them plays in the NFL, and it's our boy Leo. So, thanks for playing, guys.
Thank you. Oh, hey, I got it right on the money. When you said 7 brothers, I said, I heard this story before.
I don't know about the money. Sir, because you failed the first attempt, sir. So I'll let you get it.
I didn't hear it because I heard the music. I didn't hear what.
Well, it was after like 12 clues. So all right.
After the whole page, page of clues and then some.
I ran out of stuff. I seriously, I didn't know where else to go. I was going to say 54, and I figured that would have been a little too much.
That would have been it. That would have been it, Lou. That would have been it, Lou. Oh, I can get that one.
What was the question for if the fans missed it again? Who was it? What was the question, and what was the correct answer?
Chief who, right? And the correct answer was number 54, Leo Chanel.
Okay.
No.
So with that said, man, guys, well, thank you guys for watching and thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back Friday with Red Friday pregame show. Chiefs versus Jets Sunday night. It's gonna be a great matchup. I think it's gonna be a great matchup. We will get our score predictions there. We'll go around the NFL and speak, see what we got going on around the NFL. Also, if you have any topics or anything that you want us to go over on this show, please inbox us here at ChiefsBlitz.com or Chiefs Blitz on Facebook. And also describe with us on Chiefs Blitz on YouTube. And then with that said, guys, we will have Nick back Friday. With that said, guys, we will see you down this Friday. All right, guys.
Let's go. Will Taylor Swift be there?
Will she be there?